Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. We are going to be chatting about a new makeup brand at Sephora, and it's from Gwen Stefani. And Gwen Stefani's glam makeup look has got to be one of my favorite looks that's out there. Like, this look, anytime she's on TV with that classic red lip, the flawless skin, the simple yet super defined eye, I mean, I'm all in. I'm all about it. So that's one of the images from her brand that's on Sephora, and there's not a lot of products out right at this time. Like, we have an eyeshadow quad, we have a brow pencil, and I got the lip product. Went back to see that yes, they do have an eyeliner, but it's a pencil style, which kind of surprised me because I feel like her liner just screams like liquid liner. So I probably should have gotten the pencil too, but it's a minimal amount of stuff right now, but I still really wanted to center a look around these products and overall use her look here as my inspiration. I mean, we're talking full coverage, flawless skin, statement making lip, that beautiful eye. It's all going to come together beautifully, I think. So my skin is already prepped today, and I'm going to use my NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I'm in Patagonia Medium 1.2, just really trying to emulate that flawless looking matte skin. I totally wish that there were some complexion products out here because I feel like when I think Gwen Stefani, I think about that flawless skin almost as much as I think about the classic red lip, you know? So I'm going to dab this in with a beauty blender. I love this foundation. It wears like crazy, just amazingly good staying power. I've used it in hot, sweaty summer months and it can withstand darn near anything. I know it's looking a little dark on my skin tone right now, but it's gonna all come together, don't worry y'all. I probably need a winter shade of this. But I still think you can get a sense of like the coverage we're going for, how matte we want the skin. And yeah, Gwen Stefani, whenever I see her on TV, like she's most of the time I feel like rocking her classic look, but there's been a time or two when I've seen her in very nude looking makeup and I just don't like it as well as her signature look. However, is she going to be able to sustain a brand with currently, like, there's just one lip shade. There's a lip shade called Original Recipe and it's a red, and she put it out in a satin lipstick, a matte lipstick, and a liquid lipstick. I got the liquid lipstick. But, you know, there's got to be a plan to branch out and bring out more shades, I would think. But it seems like what's currently released really centers around her signature vibe. Okay, I'm all blended in nice and even there with that foundation. For my concealer, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Classic Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Sand. Just really trying to stay with the same finish all over the skin, nice and matte. Only takes a dot or two right in there, a little bit out here, and hopefully some down the nose and around the nose can give us a little more brightness paired with this slightly dark foundation. Oh, I love dabbing that stuff in with a beauty blender. Really helps it go across a nice surface area of the skin. Boom, yes. Fun fact, I really enjoyed No Doubt back when I was in, was it junior high? Like 8th grade or something like that? And I was on the bus. It was a Scholastic Bowl trip, some kind of tournament, which I was on the Scholastic Bowl team, but I didn't answer a lot of questions. Like, I'm no Jeopardy champ. I've got a good amount of knowledge in some areas they don't ask questions about, okay? But if you don't know what this is, it's like a quiz bowl team. It's like you have a panel of kids, you can buzz in with an answer. There were bonus questions where like there would be multiple parts, whatever. Looking back, it was not the activity I thrived in, but anyway, I was on the bus with my Discman and a No Doubt CD. And one of my friends claimed that I was singing, "Don't speak, I know just what you're thinking." Have I told this story on YouTube before? Apparently, I was singing that so loud, the whole bus got quiet and just listened to me. Now, I don't believe that I was singing it that loud. Like, I think there was an exaggeration on the part of said friend, because I don't know, buses are loud, you know, if you just ride a bus, a school bus, like it's loud and clunky, and I highly doubt that my singing was providing the volume for the whole bus and everybody could hear me. To this day, I still have questions on the credibility of that. Like, I may have been singing along, but I don't think it was loud. But that was the type of thing in that day and time. Like nowadays, I don't care if anybody hears me singing that song, but back then, very self-conscious about it. Not a soul will hear me sing out loud. One of those top memories that just stays with you. Okay, we're going to use some Wet n Wild Photo Focus, and I don't think we're going to need a ton of this, but I am going to apply it just to my key zones, like setting the under eye. You know, we are matte. We're not in a super tacky finish mode, so I don't think we need a lot, but we just really want that smooth, super matte, perfected skin. So I'm hitting T-zone and under eye, of course. And I love this powder. So skin perfecting. It just gives that added little touch, you know? Now Gwen doesn't seem to wear, at least in the inspiration picture I'm looking at, I'm not seeing a lot of bronzer. I don't think I ever see a ton of bronzer on her. So what I do apply bronzer wise is going to be pretty soft, and then the blush is going to be kind of nude as well. I'm going to use my Hourglass bronzer in Diffused Bronze Light, and I'm not saying this is like a no-show kind of bronzer, but it does give a softer look, especially if you don't go to the effort to build it up too much. And it stays kind of cool also. See, there we go, just a little. I want a little bit sculpted look. And we will take this down the neck. Remember, our facial skin might be a little deeper than the neck right now, so you can use your bronzer to help adjust. Junior high was just not, it was not it for me. Not my favorite time of life. If I can raise my girls to be kind junior high age girls, like if we can get through that phase of life and they keep their pure goodness and kindness and sweetness, that'll be great. I just had a lot of instances in my junior high years where people were mean. And I'm talking about the girls in my class specifically, and there weren't a lot of them. And you know what? By high school, my mom told me, she's like, you just keep being you, and they will grow up eventually. You will get through this. And I mean, I came home crying from school so many days. And by high school, you know what? First off, getting into high school, like I went to a smallish school, but being in high school suddenly exposed me to kids of older ages that I'd be running into in different classes, and, you know, getting into cheerleading. It was like I had this whole other, like, side of people to socialize with, and I wasn't gauging my worth by how well I got along with, you know, that small group of girls in my class. And then by the end of high school, it seemed like people did grow up. People were nicer. They were decent human beings, you know, like we did get along. I ended up being the sweetheart dance queen, for crying out loud. How the heck did that happen? Things change, okay? Life is ever changing. If you've got a child, or if you are a child who is going through a rough time in your school environment right now with making friends or people being mean or whatever, there is hope. But don't change you. Don't knock yourself down to meet their level. You stay at your level. They can come up to meet you, okay? That's my advice. Warm Soul is what I'm going to use today for this blush, because I don't want it to stand out a lot, because her blush just seems really like understated, and I think this is going to be perfect. It's kind of sad how, like, this video, you may have clicked it because you wanted to know about the Gwen Stefani stuff, but we're going to sit here for 10 minutes using things that aren't this line and rehashing my junior high years. Okay, look at this blush. I feel like this is really perfect for this look. Barely there. But you know, I like some blush. I'm going to refer to my inspiration pick again and see if there's any identifiable highlight going on. There is some. You can see it straight to the apple of the cheek. You can see a little glow on her. Bloomy Glow Nude palette it is. We're going to go with the lightest shade. We don't want to bring any, like, even hint of bronziness to this. But we want to hit that glow in that same spot. Right here and up. Oh, this is just a masterful highlight at bringing that brightness, but not looking like real shimmer. And that's kind of the way she looked in that picture. She had a luminosity coming from her cheek, but it didn't look like a streak of anything, that's for sure. I'm going to keep the rest pretty much matte. I only saw a little glow, like, right in here. I'm going to set this with a little Fix Plus. So here's our skin prep, feeling really good about the evenness, the matteness, and we are going to bust into the brow pencil. So this is called the Hella On Point Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. I got it in shade 4, and this is my first time playing with this stuff. I feel like the items I have, you know, like an eyeshadow quad, lip color, brow product, I'm going to really be able to get a sense the first time I use them what they're going to be like. But the packaging looks like a cardboard box, and then look at the inside, looks like a little red bandana print. Isn't that precious? Okay, this is our brow. We have a spoolie on one end, and I went for the fine tipped brow product. Looks like about the size of a Brow Wiz, okay? And this should be like a cool deep brown shade. And of course she's got a very sculpted brow. I love her light blonde hair, but still kind of prominent looking brow. And it's a somewhat similar shape to mine with the arch and all, so I'm just going to do my brow like I would normally do it and probably set this with some gel. But yeah, other things I'm eager to see from this line would be some complexion products to get just that Gwen Stefani complexion. Even though there are obviously other things on the market, it would make sense for her line to have something, some kind of coverage product, I feel. Some other shades of lip color, even though I think it's really neat that everybody's going to be encouraged to wear that core shade of red. I think that's a cool starting point. This is going on really well, by the way. I just used my Brow Wiz yesterday, and this feels so much like it, just in texture. Not too firm, not too soft. She already has some eyeshadow palettes, but I think she needs a liquid liner, because when I see her liner, I just think liquid, but I think it's funny that there's only a pencil out right now. But I haven't heard a ton about this brand. I have seen some requests from you guys for me to try it, but I'm not going off of any real preconceived notions here. And I really have no complaints about this brow product. My stance on brows has always kind of been that I don't think you have to spend a high-end amount to get a good brow product, because drugstore brands have also nailed the skinny brow pencil. Okay, so you don't have to buy these at Sephora unless you are really trying to hone in on one perfect shade that you feel like you can't find elsewhere. For example, my mom sometimes, she's blonde, got really, really light hair, and she sometimes struggles to find the right tone for her. And I just recently, actually in this same haul, got her a Brow Wiz in taupe, because I thought maybe that would be cool enough for her, but still give the definition. So we'll see. But you see what I'm getting at here? It's like the quality is most definitely there on a drugstore level, but some brands might give you just a perfect shade, and it might make you feel like you need to spend more. I'm just using a little Control Freak brow gel here. But yeah, I have no issues with the way that brow went on. The tone is great. The control that I felt I had was just perfect, you know, in terms of the texture of the pencil. No problems there. Okay, so we're going to prime the lids with some Milani eyeshadow primer. And then, how did I decide on the most nude eye quad? They put out several different shades. There was one warmer one. There was one that I think they were calling like rose gold, and then a deeper, like kind of smoky looking quad. And when I saw her pictures, I wish they would have shown her with each of them on, but you could kind of tell that the one I got, the most natural looking one, seemed to be like the classic look. Okay, so this one called Simple Kind of Life. You can see that cute box lining there. And then the compact is really neat as well. You can see that it's plastic here, but they have cardboard underneath too. And we have a film to peel. Nice. And this is what our quad looks like, you guys. It's so basic. I hope it's going to provide enough contrast on my skin. And it looks like everything's matte. Yeah, pretty much. But she just rocks a very naturally contoured eye with thick liner. That's her vibe. And I'm going to go into this deepest shade here. It's like a kind of a khaki color. And I think it is showing in my crease. This also struck me as the quad that people might have the most questions on, like how well is that going to show? How well is it going to translate? And obviously I don't have the same skin tone as everyone. I only represent one kind of skin tone here. But it does seem like this is working for me. It looks like maybe in her look they've taken a little bit of warmth above the crease, so I'm guessing that's this shade here. Kind of beigey, light warm brown. So we'll use that to kind of fill that space right here. There's an old Hollywoodness to her look that I just love. Okay, see how that's let things kind of drift up a little further? I still see the contrast like with my own skin, but this is light. And then I'll go to this shade here, which looks like a very, very soft, like pinky toned cream. And I'll put that right up under the brow. I've been working with the same brush the whole time. Then I think I'm going to take some of this lightest shade and we'll just use that on the inner lid. Goodness, it is a quick look. If you buy this quad, it doesn't take much fussing around with. Let's use a little bit of this one. We didn't really use this. Beigey, just very, I mean, I can see it's giving me coverage on my lid. The pigmentation is there. It's just the shade choice is very light. And then a little bit of the deepest shade. Just pat that out here. Okay. One thing I might do is take an even smaller brush, go into the deepest shade in the quad, and just really make sure that's getting all throughout the crease in a concentrated way. Nice and smooth. There we go. It's a very classic, barely there kind of eye. And she has other options, and the other options had more depth. But I just kind of wanted to focus on her look. I just wanted to be Gwen Stefani. The eyeliner, like I said, I probably should have tried the eyeliner that was available. It was a pencil though. I feel like I would be pretty safe in betting that a liquid liner is imminent from this line. But I'm just going to use a liquid liner of my own. This is my one size liquid liner. It's called Point Made in Bodacious Black. I love this stuff. This is some of the best wearing eyeliner, and it's a little pin. And I think this is going to give me a great, bold, dramatic wing. She doesn't look like she has much going on the lower lash line, except maybe some mascara there. So this is really going to be an upper lash line focused thing. I'm not saying you can't wing out a pencil. Certainly not in my instinct to want to work with a pencil in that way. Okay, we're taking it out, trying to fill in any little gaps, but that looks really good to me there. I feel like I'm pretty even on these wings, you guys. Like, I think that's gonna work. One thing I could maybe see a little bit of on the lower lash line was a little bit of the deeper shadow. Just smudged a little bit down in here, so I'm gonna use my Sigma smudge brush, one brush that I haven't really been able to totally duplicate at a drugstore price, but I'm taking that a little bit on my lower lash line. You may not be able to see it very much, but it's going to be there, and it's going to be taking the color of that skin just down a notch. Just a little, because we want it to stay very clean. So for time's sake, guys, I'm going to pop on my mascara and some lashes. They are the number 11 style from my So Wispy curated collection from Kiss, and then we will move on to the lip. Here we are with the finished eye. That lash is on, and it is kind of flared out at the end, so I love the way it follows the liner. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, that flare comes out and really makes sense. She definitely had a lash on in her picture, but it wasn't like super crazy long. It just gave a lot of thickness, so that's kind of why I went with this type of lash. I have a little mascara on the bottom. It's Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water. And then we're going to use the lip color and just watch the look come alive. So there's one shade. It's called Original Recipe. They have it in a matte lipstick, a satin lipstick, and a liquid lipstick. I went for the liquid lipstick because, ooh, cool packaging. I went for this because if I'm going to wear red, I want the best staying power. It's called I'm Still Here Lightweight Longwear Matte Liquid Lipstick. Ooh, there's a nice little vanilla scent. I like that. Really pure red. Oh no, look like I've been hooked. I can hardly see my lip line after that foundation. I probably should have wiped off. It's red, a little step down in terms of the brightness. You know what I mean? When I think pure red, I think even brighter than this. This just has a little bit of depth, but it looks precisely like what I've seen her wear. And I feel like I just, in a tiny sense, turned into her a little bit now. I do need to clean up that edge just a bit. This is not from the line, this is from Smashbox, but just a little bit of red lip liner here. Sometimes it can be hard to be as precise as you want to be, even with a liquid lipstick applicator. Or maybe sometimes I'm just sloppy, I don't know. The color is just so like exactly what we've seen Gwen Stefani wearing, you know, red, step down a bit in brightness. What do we think, you guys? I really feel like I'm channeling her. I mean, not that I look like her, but I'm just like, I've got the elements of the look going on. Defined brow, nude eye with a strong liner, and then that red lip. To me, to get this exact shade of red, if you absolutely love her red lip that you often see her wearing, it may be kind of a tricky red to just try to dupe here and there, because like I said, it looked like it went on fire engine bright red, and then it deepened just slightly, and that is the look she has on her lips. And right now, things are dried down. This will dry down completely like a classic matte liquid lipstick. Okay, so I expect really good staying power out of this, but the lip just kind of feels like the most important part to me, right? And if you don't like liquid lipsticks, they do have the same shade in a bullet. It'd be interesting to see just how close that is to this. Like, is it going to be the exact same shade if you get a lipstick? But if I'm wearing red, I don't want the transfer off to be even a thought in my mind. So this makes me feel more comfortable wearing it in this way. The eyeshadow quad, let's talk about that. I really feel like the quality was good, the pigmentation was good. It's obviously a really light selection of shades to give you that naturally contoured eye. Sorry, I've rubbed off some lipstick there on my hand. I could find these shades in another palette. You know, I was thinking of my ColourPop, my big all matte palette. I have no doubt that like these kinds of shades are in there. The thing is for a lot of people, it may take this pared down quad for them to be like, okay, that's the look, you know, to really hone in on the shades that give you this kind of a vibe. It feels very accurate to Gwen's classic look, but I think if you've got a lot of eyeshadows in your wardrobe at home, you can probably pull together, piece together that cool, very, very soft, cool taupe in the crease, merge that up with something slightly warmer and then something slightly brighter on the lid. You'll have the look, you know, it's not complicated. And the brow, very nice quality brow product. Went on with ease, but not too much ease. You know, it wasn't too soft, but it was just right, really, in terms of the texture to work with. This color, shade number 4, that worked really well for me. However, I continue to think that you don't have to spend high-end money on a skinny brow pencil these days. You can find it elsewhere. But the quality really seems like it's there overall. Like, just the feel of the shadows, the way everything went on, I feel I have no disappointments here. I feel like it makes a lot of sense for Gwen Stefani to be a celebrity who comes out with a makeup line, because she just has that iconic look. She oozes glamour. It makes perfect sense to me that she put something out, and I was very excited to try it, and I will be keeping my eye out for future launches. I think she needs to have a liquid liner, some more lip colors, and I would love to see some coverage products too. So from what I've tried, it's hard to say this is so ultra unique, you can only get it from this line. It's hard to say that about these things because we can pull a red from here and some shadows from there and a brow product from the drugstore, but I do feel like it did execute her signature look perfectly, and the quality is there, and it's a brand to watch in terms of what they continue to create. If you're big into Gwen Stefani, you guys, this will get you there. I can say that. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments section, and I will see you guys again very soon. I love you. Bye.